African police marched past the Deputy Commissioner before the interdivisional sports at Munali near Lusaka. It was a day of keen competition, such as most inter-team meetings inspire. There were glimpses of excellent style, and the high jump bar was raised to 5 feet 6 before the mobile division won. There was plenty to suggest that it's hardly likely to pay a criminal to run away. And as each runner handed over to his teammate, a new burst of speed was there to devour distance. Munali Secondary School scored in both relay events. The start of the 1 mile, but there's not much hurry and a long way to go. The winner from Southern Division passed his roadworthy test when he finished and put on his hydraulic brakes. Here's an old police favourite, and in this police force, the sergeant pulls his weight. It proves that the bloke who just shouts isn't being much of a help. The trophies were presented by Lady Jean Ford, and Southern Division were clear winners after a winning day's sport. The Martin Tuberculosis Sanatorium is among the places visited by His Excellency the Governor-General, Lord Llewellyn, during his tour of the Chindamora Native Reserve. It afforded His Excellency the opportunity of seeing some of the sterling work being done for Africans in the Federated Territories. And in this district alone, there are several fine institutions covering a wide field. The Makumbi Mission Station is Roman Catholic operated and is a credit to those whose service means so much to thousands of Africans. Nearby, too, is Dombashawa, a government training school for Africans covering academic education, agriculture, building trades, and other subjects. Dombashawa educates 300 natives at a time, and there are thousands of applications for the 100 or so vacancies that occur annually. The obvious value of the skills acquired here is self-evident, and the benefit to be gained is keenly appreciated by the African students themselves. Dombashawa, started 33 years ago, is an example of the able administration that the Federation has inherited. Now leaking and ending its years of service, the old dam on Zomba Mountain near Blantyre is being replaced by a modern dam that is nearing completion. The new dam will be the source of the town of Zomba's water and electric power for many years to come. Holding back the waters of a catchment area of nearly 8 square miles, the new hydroelectric scheme should provide 500 kilowatts for 10 months in a year, with a diesel plant tiding over the dry season. The dam is being built largely by African labour, with a minimum of European supervision. In the Zomba flood of 1946, 28 inches of rain fell in 36 hours. Whether such a deluge will occur again is not known, but such factors had to be taken into consideration in harnessing the river to produce electric power and water to serve the town of Zomba. Occupation Day is celebrated in Cecil Square, Salisbury, commemorating the occupation of Mashonaland in 1890. Sir John and Lady Kennedy congratulated some of the pioneers and their relatives who had answered the call of Cecil Rhodes. This year marked the centenary of the birth of Cecil Rhodes and the birth of Federation, one of his most cherished dreams. Looking back now, we see with gratitude the part that pioneers played in building the Rhodesia of today. It is a story of courage, sacrifice, and hardship. A story that will live as long as the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland exerts its power for good in Africa. Bill Freeman and his missus have settled in the Kafui Gorge, less than 30 miles from Lusaka. Bill first came here looking for gold. It isn't due to gold fever, but Bill has gone bats. Yes, he's gone bats in a big way, and Mrs. Freeman is delighted. You see, while prospecting, Bill came across the entrance to a series of underground caves carved out of limestone by the action of water. It took him a little time to realize it, but he had really struck it rich. Let's go down with them. It's a bit spooky below, but it's worth looking at Bill's bonanza. Being a limestone cave, it contains many stalactites that glow with great beauty in the light of our flares. Stalactites grow incredibly slowly, and these large specimens indicate the great age of the caves. There are 3 caves that Bill knows of, and it's none too easy getting from one to another. And when Bill first explored them on his own, he didn't know what wild creature or reptile he might run into. As a matter of fact, the only weird creatures were the eerie creations of the stalactites. What then made Freeman go bats? It was the bats themselves, thousands and thousands of bats that have lived in the caves for generation after generation. And watching them settle overhead, he suddenly realized that he was standing on a centuries-old deposit of bat guano, something far more valuable and useful than the gold that he had been seeking. The caves may contain 500,000 or perhaps even millions of tons of the finest fertilizer known to man. So he has struck it rich and is getting it out as fast as limited labor resources permit. His bat guano mine is still very much in its primitive state. In fact, it's rather a Heath Robinson affair. The precious guano has to be brought to the main shaft in sack loads and loaded onto the hoist. And Bill Freeman is his own engine driver. For a man who's gone bats, he has an awful lot of horse sense. It's a lot easier than stoking boilers. Right, right, and Bill gives it thumbs up. And thumbs up it is, for Bill Freeman had the common sense to spot a gold mine where there was no gold. Besides, gold can be worked out, but bats keep on being bats forever. And there'll be plenty more guano where this comes from.